वन्दे गुरुपदद्वन्द्वम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् रक्तशुक्लप्रभामिश्रम् अतर्क्यं त्रैपुरम् अहः विशुद्धिज्ञानदेहाय त्रिवेदी दिव्यचक्षुषे श्रेयः प्राप्तिनिमित्ताय नमः सोमार्धधारिणे नमो यामिनीनाथरेखालङ्कृतकुन्तलाम् भवानीं भवसन्तापनिर्वापण सुधानदीम्. Now we start the Dvitiya Kanda, the second Kanda, which is Gaṇanāyaka Paddhatī. Till the previous section had detailed and an elaborate procedure and importance for the Deeksha Vidhi was narrated by Bhagavan Parashurama. Having completed, which means now that the Sishya has been given the Deeksha by a Guru, what should be the next course of action? To clarify this, the second Khanda or the second portion of the text starts. This is called as Shri Ganapati Upasana Vidhi, the methodology for worship of Shri Maha Ganapati as part of one's Sri Vidya Upasana. So the first sutra is Itham Sadguroho Ahita Dikshaha Mahavidya Aradhana Pratyuha Apohaya Gaṇanāyakim Dhatim Amrishet. Itham, as narrated in the previous section. Sadguroho Ahita Dikshaha. The Sishya who has attained the Diksha from a Sadguru, Shastrokta Lakshana Sahita Guru. A Guru who is endowed with all the Lakshanas as per the Tantragamas. And from him, he has received the Diksha Vidhi as narrated in the first section. Such a Sishya, Mahavidya Aradhana Pratyuha Apohaya. Now he is about to begin the Mahavidya Aradhana. The meaning of the word Mahavidya is Lalita Mahatripurasundari herself. In the Sahasranama, we come across Atmavidya, Mahavidya, Sri Vidya, Kamasevita. So Mahavidya is Lalita Mahatripurasundari, and there is no Veda or difference between the Devata and the Mantra. So the term Mahavidya also is equally applicable to Shri Shodashakshari Vidya and Srimad Panchadashakshari Vidya. So the Sishya who is about to embark on the Upasana of Shri Lalita Mahatripurasundari through the japa of Srimad Panchadashakshari or Shodashakshari, Mahavidya Aradhana. He may face certain obstacles in the path because of so many external factors and also because of the karma phala. So this is called as the pratyuha. Pratyuha means Vighna, that which does not allow you to enjoy the full result of an action. So that is pratyuha. Apohaya, in order to remove. Apohanam means to remove. In order to remove these pratibandhakas, the pratibandha, that is the obstacles in the Sri Vidya Upasti, one has to take up Gaṇanāyakim Paddhatim, the path of the Upasana of Shri Maha Ganapati. Gaṇanāyakim Paddhatim Amrishet. Amrishet means he should accept. Svikariyat. So, Mahaganapati Upasana here in the Kalpa Sutra is narrated as an Anga for Sri Vidya Upasana. Ganapatas, Mahaganapati Upasana can be an independent Upasana as well, the Mukhya Upasana as well. But here, whatever instructions we are going to receive from Sri Bhagavan in the second chapter is to be understood as an Anga, as a part of the larger Sri Vidya Upasana Marga. Now, in the next sutra, which is a long sutra, Bhagavan gives a detailed explanation of what the Shishya should do right from the time he gets up from sleep. So, this particular sutra, Brahme Muhurte Utthaya Dvadashante सहस्रदल कमल कर्णिका मध्य निविष्ट गुरु चरण युगल विगलत अमृत रस विसर परिप्लुत अखिलांगः हृदय कमल मध्ये ज्वलन्तम उद्यत अरुणकोटि पाटलम अशेष दोष निर्विशेष भूतम अनेक पाननम नियमित पवन मनोगतिर्ध्यात्वा प्रभापटल पाटलीकृत तनुः बहिः निर्गत्य मुक्त मलमूत्रः दन्तधावन स्नान वस्त्र परिधान सूर्यार्घ्यदानानि विधाय उद्यत आदित्यवर्तिने महागणपतये पुरुषाय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ती प्रचोदयात् इत्यर्घ्यं दत्त्वा नित्यकृत्यं विधाय चतुरावृत्ति तर्पणं कुर्यात् आयुरारोग्यमैश्वर्यं बलं पुष्टिर्यशः कवित्वं भुक्ति मुक्ति च चतुरावृत्ति तर्पणा. So this is the sutra. We will understand this in the segments. The first instruction is Brahme Muhurte Thaya. So an upasaka, wherever we go, whether it is in the Shama Karma or the Shri Karma, you will come across this instruction Brahme Muhurte Utthaya. So one has to keep in mind that Brahma Muhurta is that pre-dawn or pre-sunrise time, which is considered to be extremely potent for sadhana, and it aligns the body rhythms to the cosmic cycle. Therefore, one should not miss out, and hence the emphasis. So, having got up in the Brahma Muhurta itself, Brahme Muhurte Utthaya, as soon as you get up, the first thing that the sadhaka has to do is to contemplate and pay his obeisance to his Shri Guru. Now, for this, you don't have to have taken bath or anything like that, because the very smarana of one's Shri Guru removes all kinds of sins. It is the highest form of purification that a Sishya can aim for. Therefore, without considering anything, Bhagavan Parashurama says, Brahme Muhurte Utthaya Dvadashante Sahasra Dala Kamala Karnika Madhya Nivishta Guru Charana Yugala. So he has to contemplate on Guru Charana Yugala, the feet of his Sri Guru. Guru Charana Yugala. Yugala means the pair, which is located in the Karnika, the central portion of the Sahasrara Dala, the 1,000-petaled lotus, which is situated in the Dvadashanta. Now, Dvadashanta is the region slightly above the physical body. So, it is located in the aura. body of a person. This Dwadashanta Kamala faces downwards. It's Adhomukha. See, there are two Sahasra Kamalas in one's body as per the Tantragamas. One is called as the Kula Sahasrara, which is below the Mooladhara, and it faces upwards. Whereas the one in the Dwadashanta, no, above the pericap area, is called as uh, the Kula Sahasrara, and it faces downwards. So in that Sahasradala Kamala, so Sahasradala Kamala, Karnika Madhya. Karnika is the central portion to which all the petals are all attached. In that region, Madhya, in midst of that, Nivishta Guru Charana Yugala. Sri Guru's Prakasha and the Vimarsha Charana are located there. And from there is incessant flow of Amruta. So Charana Yugala Vigalat Amruta Rasa Visara Paripluta Akhilangaha. Because Sri Guru is Parashiva himself. And as a result of he being the source of the immortality, the Amruta Rasa incessantly, continuously flows from the holy feet. Vigalat Amruta Rasa. And it is drenching the body of the Sishya. Paripluta Akhila Angaha. So this is bhavana. Until unless he has this experience, this anubhuti, one has to do the bhavana that this is happening to himself. So, paripluta akhilangaha. So, his entire body is drenched in the amrita which is flowing from the holy feet of Shri Guru. It is after the contemplation of Shri Guru, our thought is even directed towards the Devata. So Bhagavan says, Hridaya Kamala Madhye Jwalantam Ud Aruna Koti Patalam. Now we contemplate on Sri Maha Ganapati. Maha Ganapati is of reddish complexion. And this contemplation happens in one's Hridaya Kamala, in the lotus of one's heart. So Hridaya Kamala Madhye Jwalantam, like blazing fire. Jwalantam. Udyat Aruna Koti Patalam. Udyat Aruna Koti, the sun which is just rising. Udyat, rising sun. And we have all seen how it looks. The entire zenith is lit up with crimson red complexion of the rays. Now imagine crores of suns rising simultaneously. Udyat Aruna Koti, redness that can, it is unimaginable. Okay, so it is unimaginable. So these similes are used to drive home one important point that there is no simile in the world which can be used by uh, the the speaker or the writer to make the other person understand. So this inexplicability of this phenomena, because Sri Mahaganapati's complexion is something which is beyond one's physical or even mental imagination, but somewhat close to what we can think of is Koti Udyat Koti Aruna. So crores of suns which are rising simultaneously. And another point to be noted is that in the Hridaya Kamala, that Jwalanta, like the blazing fire, the blazing fire is to show that it is, or Sri Mahaganapati Upasti is the most potent method get rid of all the papas, of all the sins. Just as the fire burns away all the impurities, so does the dhyana of Mahaganapati of in one's Hridaya Kamala destroys the sins. So, Jwalantam Uddhat Arunakoti Patalam. Patalam means that reddish or crimson complexion. Ashesha Dosha Nirvisesha Bhutam. And because of this, Ashesha Dosha, all the doshas, all the papas, all the sins that uh, the sadhaka has performed or committed, they are completely eradicated. Nirvishesha bhuta. They have not left behind a single trace of their earlier existence. Nirvishesha bhuta. So they are completely burnt away. They are completely destroyed because of this dhyana of Mahaganapati in one's Hridaya Kamala. Nirvishesha bhutam aneka pananam. Aneka panana is Gajanana or Mahaganapati. Anekapaha is one who has two modes of drinking, the mouth as well as the nose. Okay, so he's Anekapaha or Gajaha or Gajanana. So Anekapananam Mahaganapatim Niyamita Pavana Manogatir Dhyatva. And this contemplation will become steady only after perfecting the pranayama. So Niyamita, after achieving a niyamana. Niyamana means balance, a sense of um, regulation. Regulation of pavana. Pavana is not to be understood as just the breath, but it is that life energy or prana. And once that is done, the mind also comes to a rest. So niyamita pavana manogati. So by control of the prana, the manolaya also takes place. Prabha patala patalikrita tanuhu. Now the more and more you concentrate on Sri Mahaganapati Sri Vigraha in one's Hridaya Kamala, in one's heart, his he will start seeing the change appearing on his physical body also. Even his physical body will start turning into somewhat pinkish complexion. Patala is the admixture of white and red. So that shows the intensity where the dhyana of one's Aradhya converts the Aradhaka into Aradhya himself. But till that time, at least the Bhavana is good. Prabha, so Prabha, by the lustrous rays of Sri Mahaganapati, Patalikrita Tanuhu, the body of the sadhaka is also becoming Patala. There is pinkish in complexion. Now, all this is while he is still sitting on his bed, okay, wherever he was sleeping the previous night. Now, having done this, the next set of rites, Bahir Nirgatya. So, so we have to remember now, this is this text is written when there were no built-in bathrooms or things in the house. So Bahir Nirgatya, having come out of the house, Mukta Malamutraha, having completed his toilets and others. Dantadhavana, brushing the teeth, Snana, taking the ceremonial bath, Vastra Paridhana, wearing a clean set of clothes, Surya Arghyadanani Vidhaya, and after offering the Arghya to Surya. So this means having performed the Vaidika Sandhya. Whoever is eligible to perform the Vaidika Sandhya, they have to first perform the Vaidika Sandhya. So all the Dvigas, all the Traivarnikas should perform the Vaidika Sandhya first. So Vidhaya, Surya Arghyadanani Vidhaya. Now is the special, which is the Vishesha Vidhi, which is applicable only for the Dikshita. So he has to then offer Arghya thrice to Sri Mahaganapati, who is the the inner dweller, no one who dwells inside, one who is the life force of the Surya himself. So the earlier Arghya was for Surya, but the Suryasya Atma, okay, the existence of the very Surya is derived from Mahaganapati, who is the Antaratma of the Surya. So one has to offer thrice Arghya to Mahaganapati. And how do we do that? It says Udyat Aditya Vartine Mahaganapataye. Now this is a part of the mantra. Udyat Aditya Vartine Mahaganapati, who resides within the sun which is rising. Udyat Aditya Vartine, that Mahaganapati, Mahaganapataye. And it is followed by the Mahaganapati Gayatri. So Tatpurushaya, followed by Vidmahe, Vakratundaya, followed by Dhimahi, No, Tanti, then prachodayat. So this is the Ganesha Gayatri. So Udyadaditya Vartine Maha Ganapataye, and then the Ganesha Gayatri, one has to offer the Arghya. So iti Arghyam Dattva Nitya Krityam Vidhaya, and having completed his Nitya Anusthana, Japa, etc., if he chooses to do it on the river bank, which was considered to be auspicious, or the banks of any. So right now, in the given circumstances, we do it in the chosen place where we do our Anushtana. Nitya Krityam Vidhaya Chaturavritti Tarpanam Kuryat. Now, Bhagavan is about to explain a very important, a very crucial Vidhana procedure called Chaturavritti Tarpana. So, the procedure will be explained, but even before that, to kindle the interest of the sadhaka, why should one perform the Chaturavritti Tarpana? Because normally there is a saying, Prayojanam Anuddishya Namandopi Pravartate. Not knowing the Prayojana, not knowing the purpose, even a Manda, even a dullard would not engage in any activity. So here is a Sat Shishya who has been given Diksha. So he should be made aware of the benefits. So first, the benefit of performing the Chaturavritti Tarpana is given. Ayuhu, Arogyam, Aishwaryam, Balam, Pushtihi, Mahat Yashaha, Avitvam, Bhukti Mukti cha Chaturavritti Tarpana. So through this Chaturavritti Tarpanakya karma, through this karma, which is named as Chaturavritti Tarpana. So you will understand why it is called as Chaturavritti Tarpana when we see the procedure. So through this karma, the benefits that the sadhaka acquires are Ayuhu, the destined lifespan. So he will not face any Akala Marana or anything like Ayuhu, Arogya. And as long as we are living as per the Prarabdha, you will lead a healthy life. Arogya. And also be endowed with all the comforts necessary for a happy life. Aishwaryam, Balam, for performing the Anusthana and for carrying out your thing. Also for performing Anusthana, you require both physical as well as the mental strength, which is the Bala. Pushtihi. Pushti is nourishment. The difference between Aishwarya and Pushti is that nourishment kindles enthusiasm for more and more. So you will, once you are endowed with the Pushti, you will be ever enthusiastic to move in the sadhana path by performing and enthusiastically participating and trying all the various means and methods laid down by the Shastras. So that is Pushti, Mahatyashaha, which will result in your fame spreading across all directions, not because you sought fame, but because one cannot hide the sun for a long time. So it will always be visible. So a person who is engaged in such serious sadhana will always be respected by others. So this is not the fame that one seeks. This is the fame that one acquires, okay, by virtue of his tapas. So Mahat Yashaha, Pavitvam. Kavitva is the ability to foresee things. Kranta Darshitvam Kavitvam. Ability to foresee. The other meaning of Kavitva is poesy. Okay, ability to compose beautiful poetry, kind of. Bhukti, all the enjoyments. Mukti, and the liberation. So, all this can be attained just through Chaturavritti Tarpana. Chaturavritti Tarpana. Now, Bhagavan proceeds to narrate Chaturavritti Tarpana.
The third sutra of Gaṇanāyaka Paddhatī. Prathamam dvadashavaram Moola mantrena tarpayitva mantra ashtavimshati varnan swahantan ekekam chaturvaram moolam cha chaturvaram tarpayitva punaha Shri Shripati Girija Girijapati Rati Ratipati Mahi Mahipati Mahalakshmi Mahalakshmipati Riddhi Amodha Samriddhi Pramoda Kanti Sumukha Madanavati Durmukha Madadrava Avighna Dravini Vighna Kartru Vasudhara Shankhanidhi Vasumati Padmanidhi त्रयोदश मिथुनेषु एकैकां देवतां चतुर्वारं मूलं चतुर्वारं च तर्पयेत् त्वं चतुश्चत्वारिंशत् अधिक चतुश्शत तर्पणानि भवन्ति चतुरावृत्ति आवृत्ति repetition chaturavritti when each of the mantra is repeated 4 times. So the tarpana in which the mantras are repeated 4 times or in the multiples of 4 is called as chaturavritti tarpana. Now Bhagavan Parashurama goes on to explain what is the Moola mantra to be used, what are the devatas to whom the tarpana has to be offered, and in what order. Prathamam Dvadashavaram Moola mantrena tarpayitva. So he has left out the other aspects which we are supposed to know, like achamanam, sankalpam, etc. This is something that is common for all the kriyas. So that is some it is called as an adhyahara. So we will have to understand those elements, because things that are done without performing achamanam or sankalpa is not supposed to give benefit to the sadhaka. Anachamya kritam yaccha sankalpa varjitam rakshasam tad bhavet karma. So without achamana, without sankalpa and all, no karma should be performed. So prathama, after all that, what is the krama? Prathamam dvadashavaram moola mantrena tarpayitva. So 12 times tarpana has to be offered using the moola mantra. Now, which is the moola mantra we are talking about here? Because when we take as Ganapati, there are many forms of Ganapati. So, which is it that is referred to here as the moola mantra? So, Bhagavan gives a hint only. He is not giving the uddhara of the mantra. He says, Ashtavimshati Varnan. That moola mantra, which consists of 28 letters. So we understand this to mean the Maha Ganapati mantra. So Ashtavimshati Varnan. Then we have to perform the Akshara Tarpana. That is for each and every letter that consists of the Moola mantra. So if the Moola mantra starts with Om, Shrim, Hrim, Klim, etc. So the first letter is Om. So we have to perform the Tarpana using the first letter. While performing this Tarpana is a Swahantan. You have to add Swahakara. So Om Swaha Maha Ganapatim Tarpayami. Like this 4 times we have to do the Tarpana. Moolam Chaturvaram. After completion of this, once again we have to perform the Tarpana with the Moola mantra. Then we move on to the second syllable. Shrim Swaha Maha Ganapatim Tarpayami. So on. So we complete the 28 letters. Okay. Punaha, after completing that, again, Shri Shripati, Girija Girijapati, Rati Ratipati, Mahi Mahipati, Mahalakshmi Mahalakshmipati. Basically, these are the Mithuna Devatas standing for each of the bijas of the Moola mantra. Okay. Shrim stands for the Shri Shripati. Reem stands for Girija Girijapati. Klim stands for Rati Ratipati. Glaum stands for Mahi Mahipati. Gam stands for Mahalakshmi Mahalakshmipati. Now here Mahalakshmi is Siddha Lakshmi, the Shakti of Maha Ganapati. So if Mahalakshmi is Siddhalakshmi, Mahalakshmi Pati is Maha Ganapati. Okay. So in I think most of you would have made that correction from which is there in the printed text. Okay, it's Mahalakshmi, Mahalakshmim Tarpayami, then Mahalakshmi Patim Tarpayami. All right. So once again, the logic is same. Shriyam Tarpayami 4 times, Moola Mantra. Shripatim Tarpayami 4 times, Moola Mantra 4 times. Like that we have to proceed. So this is one set of Mithuna Devatas. Then the next set of Mithuna Devatas, Riddhi Amoda. Okay, Samriddhi Pramoda, Kanti Sumukha, Madanavati Durmukha, Madadrava Avighna, Dravini Vignakarta. Okay, so these Devatas are the 6 aspects of Maha Ganapati. So their dhyana and other things, if we look into their dhyana shloka and others, we will understand that they are the different aspects of Maha Ganapati. So that is why in the positioning which we are going to see later on, they are around Maha Ganapati. Okay. So Riddhi and Amoda. Okay. So Riddhim Tarpayami 4 times. Moola Mantram. Amodam Tarpayami 4 times. Moola Mantra 4 times. Like this we have to proceed. This is the next. Then we end with the Vasudhara, Shankhanidhi, Vasumati and Padmanidhi. So Vasudharam 4 times, then Shankhanidhim 4 times, Vasumati 4 times, Padmanidhi 4 times. So when we complete this, after that once again we have to perform the Moola Mantra Tarpana 12 times. Alright. Evam Chatushchatvarimshat Adhika Chatushshata Tarpanani Bhavanti. When we count, totally we will get 444 Tarpanas. Okay, so this is called as Chaturavritti Tarpana. So with the Moola mantras, we would have performed 228 times. The Varnas, the 28 letter Tarpana, we would have performed 112 times. And the Mithunas, we would have performed 104. Totally 444. So this is an important Kriya Vidhi as far as the Maha Ganapati Upasana is concerned. So after completing this, in the next sutra, we proceed with the Avarana Puja of Maha Ganapati. Evam Tarpana Kramam Uktva Puja Vidhim Bhaktum Upakramate. After completing the Tarpana Vidhi, the Puja Vidhi is now being narrated. Atha Yaga Vidhi. So Puja is always referred to here as Yaga. That is why it is Yaga Mandira, Antar Yaga, Bahir Yaga. So it is always Yaga. Griham Agathya. So it says Griham Agathya, which means that the Tarpana should have been performed at the place where we would have taken bath. See, if you remember. Okay, so Tarpana is where you have taken bath. So generally, you don't require any yantra or any vigraha or anything like that to perform the Tarpana. It only says that, say you're in a lake or in a river, if you are taking bath, after completing our nitya anushtanam, we will have to imagine or we will have to draw the yantra in the water surface itself, and there itself, using the water, we have to perform the Tarpana. So after completing the Tarpana, Griham Agathya, he comes back to his house. Okay, this is in the olden days when you used to go to Nadi for Snana and other. So today's takeaway is that you don't require any no specific yantra or no bimba or anything to perform the Tarpana. If it is there, fine, nothing wrong in using it. But you are not dependent on that for Tarpana. Tarpana can be merely be performed with just water and Shraddha and Bhakti. That's all is required for performing the Tarpana. Then Sthandilam Upalipya. Sthandilam is basically, cleaning the place of the yaga Okay, in the olden days, they used to smear with the gomaya, the cow dung, and prepare the ground for the, and they will do the rangoli and all those. So this is called as thandila. So thandilam upalipya dwara deshe ubhaya parshvayoho dwara deshe. So before we enter into the yaga mandira, when we are still standing outside, dwara deshe ubhaya parshvayoho, on the two sides, Bhadrakalyai Bhairavaya. So we have to worship Bhadrakali and Bhairava on either side of the Yaga Mandira. So generally, when Bija Akshara is not given, specific Bija Akshara is not given, Namadhyaksharam. That is what the Tantra says. You have to take the first letter of the Devata's name and make it as the Bija Akshara for that particular letter. Say for example, Anima Siddhi. So what do? We say Anima Siddhi. Laghima Siddhi. Lam Laghima Siddhi. Because La is the first letter of Laghima. So that becomes a Bijakshara. So similarly, Bhadrakali. So first letter is Bha. So Bham Bhadrakalyai. Bhairava. First letter is Bha. Bham Bhairavaya. Okay, so we worship the Dwara using these two mantras. Ubhaya Parshvayoho Bhadrakalyai Bhairavaya. Urdhve Lambodharaya. On the top, Lam Lambodharaya. Namaha iti. So we worship using Pushpakshata, and then Pravish, Antaha Pravishya. Then alone you enter. So you are taking permission of the Dwara Devatas to enter into the Yaga Mandira. Bhadrakali, Bhairava and Lambodhara. Okay. Antaha Pravishya. We enter inside. Asana Mantrena Asane Sthitva. Using the Asana Mantra, Asane Sthitva. So you have to be seated on the asana after worshipping the asana with the asana mantra. Alright. Now I told you in the previous classes, this Parashurama Kalpa Sutra cannot be read in isolation. That is, these rules cannot be read in isolation. Most of the things are spread over the text. So when we see asana mantrena, Bhagavan has not specified what is the mantra here, whereas he should have specified it here itself. This asana mantra is found in the Shama Paddhatī, which comes later. After this, it is Shri, after that Shama. In Shama Paddhatī, we have the mention of the asana mantra. So from there, we have to understand or know what is the asana mantra and use that asana mantra and then consecrate the asana. Okay, Adhar Shakti Kamalasana Namaha. That is the mantra. So before that, we have to do the Dvadashavara Abhimantranam. 12 times we do the Abhimantrana. It says Paramantra. We are actually using Paramantra. But that Paramantra Abhimantrana comes in the Parakrama. So logically speaking, because we are doing Parakrama, you are doing the Abhimantrana of the asana using the Parabija. So if we extend that logic, or if you deduce from that, if we are doing Maha Ganapati Paddhatī, we should be doing the Dvadashara Abhimantrana using Maha Ganapati Moola Mantra. Or if we are doing Shri Krama, then the Abhimantrana should be done using the Panchadashi or Shodashi or whatever is the thing. But in our practice, we are only using the Parabija wherever or whatever Bahiryaga we are performing. All right. So these are some of the things. It's like food for thought. We cannot directly go and change anything, but these are certain things that we need to think over. Okay, or at least have an understanding why we are using Parabija. All right. So 12 times you do the Abhimantrana using Parabija, then you sprinkle the water, and then you worship the asana using Adhara Shakti Kamalasana Namaha, and then you sit on the asana. Asane Sthitva. Prana-manogati. Perform the pranayama. performing pranayama again using the Moola mantra. Whatever is the Devata Upasati we are doing, using that Devata's Moola mantra, you have to do the pranayama. Okay. Shadangani vinyasya. You perform the Shadanganyasa. Okay, Karanyasa and the Anganyasa. So Shadangani vinyasya. Hridaya, Shira, Shikha, Netra, Kavacha, Astra. These are the Shadangas. So Shadangani vinyasya. Moolena vyapakam krutva. Moolena vyapakam krutva. Using the Maha Ganapati Moola, we perform the Vyapaka. Vyapakam is touching the entire body, chanting the Moola mantra. This is Vyapaka. Paramananda Tantra defines Vyapaka to be no sparshanam, touching of the body, the entire body, you see the Moola mantra. So Moola mantrena Vyapakam krutva. We perform the Vyapaka using the Moola mantra. All right. Swatmani in oneself. Okay, in the Daharakasha. Okay. Swatmani Siddha Lakshmi Samashlishta Parshvam. We use this as the Dhyana Shloka of for the Chaturavritti Tarpaṇa. Otherwise, for the Puja or for the Japa, we use the Bija Pura Gadekshikar Mukroja. That is the Dhyana Shloka that we use. Okay. So here it says Siddha Lakshmi Samashlishta Parshvam. So how should we do the dhyana of the Maha Ganapati? Siddha Lakshmi Sama Ashlishta Parshva. One who is embraced by Siddha Lakshmi, who is seated next to him. Sama Ashlishta. Ashlishta means who is embracing him. Okay. Parshvam. Ardhendu Shekharam. He is wearing the crescent moon on his head. Ardha Indu Shekharam. Arakta Varnam. Maha Ganapati is reddish in complexion. Arakta Varnam. Matulunga. Pomegranate fruit. Gada. The mace. Pundrekshu. Okay, Pundrekshu. Pundrekshu is the sugar cane. Okay, especially the red color sugar cane. Pundrekshu Karmuka. Karmuka means bow. So sugar cane bow. Pundrekshu Karmuka. Shula. Shula is Trishula. Sudarshana. The chakra. Alright. So it is starting from the lowermost right hand to the uppermost right hand. That is the order in which it is going. Okay. Then we come to the left uppermost hand and top to bottom it comes. Shankha. Pasha. Utpala. Okay. Utpala is blue lily or blue lotus. Okay. Utpala. Dhanya Manjari. Dhanya Manjari is a grain stuff. Okay, having the thresh of grains in his hands. Dhanya Manjari. Nija Danta. And his own tooth. Nija Danta. Ratna Kalasha. And one Ratna Kalasha. Okay. Parishkrita Pani Ekadashakam. So Parishkrita Pani Ekadashakam. Ekadasha Pani. In his 11 hands, Parishkrita. All these weapons are being held by him. Basically, you can only have 10 hands. You don't have the 11 hands. So here the term 11th hand refers to his Shunda. Okay, his trunk. Okay, in which he is holding the Ratna Kalasha. All the others he is holding in his hands, whereas Ratna Kalasha is being held by his Shunda. Okay. But here in the shloka, Bhagavan says Panyeka Dashakam in his 11 hands. Parishkrita Pani Ekadashakam. Prabhinna Katam. Prabhinna Katam means with the rut oozing, the Mother Jala, okay, with the rut oozing from his temples. Prabhinna Katam. Ananda Purnam. Full of bliss. Ananda Purnam. Asesha Vighna Dvamsa Nignam. Asesha, all. Vighna, obstacles. Okay. Dvamsa Nighna, who is capable of removing all the obstacles. Asesha Vighna Dvamsa Nignam. Vigneshwaram Dhyatva. So this is how we meditate upon Maha Ganapati in our mind. All right. So your guru might have told you about this. What is this? The ayudhas. The ayudha krama has certain meaning. Okay. Say for example, Matulunga. See, they are to be paired like this. Matulunga and Swadanta. Okay. Matulunga and Swadanta. Okay, I will start from the top. Okay. The top is Shankha and Chakra. This Shankha and Chakra is for the Shri and Shripati. For Mahavishnu and Mahalakshmi. Shankha and Chakra. Then we have the Shula and Pasha for Girija and Girijapati. All right. Then we have Pundrekshu Karmuka and Utpala. That is for Rati and Ratipati. Then we have Gada and Shali Manjira. That is for Bhu and Bhupati. Then we have the Matulunga and Swadanta. That is for Mahalakshmi and Mahalakshmipati. That is Maha Ganapati himself and Siddhalakshmi. This is the order of your Bijaksharas also. Shreem, Reem, Kleem, Glaum, Gam. Shreem is Shri Shripati. Therefore Shankha Chakra. Reem is Girija Girijapati. Therefore you are having Pasha and Trishula. Kleem is for Rati and Ratipati. Therefore you are having the Pundrayakshu and Nilotpala. Glaum is the Bijakshara of Varaha. Okay, so Mahi and Mahipati. That is Bhu and Varaha. So the Ayudhas are Gada for Varaha and the Shali Manjira, the rice grains, okay, for Bhu. And then Gam, that is Mahaganapati's Bija himself. Therefore Matulunga and Swadanta. Shreem, Reem, Kleem, Glaum, Gam. These are the 5 Bijaksharas for representing these 5 Devatas, and Mahaganapati holds the Ayudhas also in the same term. So Vigneshwaram Dhyatva. We do the dhyana of Mahaganapati in this manner. Then Arghya Sthapanam. So the next element of the puja is the Patra Sadhana. Okay. So Purataha Moola Sapta Abhimantritena Gandhakshata Pushpa Pujitena Shuddhena Varina Trikona Shatkona Vritta Chaturashrani Vidhaya Tasmin Pushpani Vikirya Vanhi Isha Asura Vayushu Madhye Dikshucha Shadangani Vinyasya Agni Mandalaya Dashakalatmane Arghya Patra Adharaja Namaha. Suryamandalaya Dvadasha Kalatmane Arghyapatraya Namaha Somamandalaya Shodasha Kalatmane Arghyamrutaya Namaha Iti Shuddha Jalam Apurya Astrena Samrakshya Kavachena Avakunthya Dhenu Yoni Mudram Pradarshaye. So this is Samanya Arghya Vidhi. Okay. So there is no Vidhana as per the Parashurama Kalpa Sutra for the Vardhini or for the Karana Karsha or anything like that. We move on to the Samanya Arghya. So Purataha, in front of the Sadhaka. Moola Sapta Abhimantritena. So Saptavara Abhimantrita Jalam. So 7 times we do the Abhimantrana of the Jala. This is for the Vardhini Kalasha. You place the Vardhini Kalasha Patra and you do the Saptavara Abhimantrana. Then Gandha Akshata Pushpa Pujitena. Then you worship with the Gandha Akshata and Pushpa. This is all about the Vardhini. Okay. Then Shuddhena Varina. Using that water, the water from the Vardhini, you have to draw the yantra. The yantra consisting of trikona, a triangle. Outside the triangle, there is one shatkona, okay, a hexagon. Then vritta, there is one circle around the hexagon, and chaturasra, and there is a square around the circle. So this is the yantra. Vidhaya, it does. So it is only saying using that water, you write the yantra. So there is no mention of having a physical yantra or drawing it using chandanam or anything like that. It only says use the water and draw the yantra there. Shuddhena varina yantram vidhaya. Okay. Tasmin pushpani vikirya. So we have to worship the yantra using the flowers. Pushpani vikirya. Vikiranam means abde scatter pandrathu. Vikirya. Vanhi Isha Asura Vayushu. Vanhi southeast. Okay. Asura southwest. Vayu northwest. Okay. Isha northeast. So the 4 directions you have to do the Shadanga Archana. So 4 directions, 4 parts. Madhye. So the 5th is in the middle. Dikshu. And the 6th is in all the other remaining cardinal directions left out. East, north, west and south. So Shadanga is split like this. So Vanhi Isha Asura Vayushu 4, Madhye 5, and Dikshu. And for all the 4 diks, the 6th one. Okay. Shadangani Vinyasya. Agni Mandalaya Dashakalatmane Arghya Adharaya Namaha. So then we place the Samanya Arghya Patra Adhara, the base for the Samanya Arghya Patra. Okay. Kalpa Sutra does not specify what is the Samanya Arghya Patra. Samanya Arghya Patra can either be made of silver or, as it is in our practice, we use the Shankha. Okay. So Samanya, for that the base. The base also, it does not specify how it should be, but the text like Paramananda Tantra says it should be having, or it should be in a shape of a triangle. So generally we have the Shankha base with 3 legs. So it's a triangular form. Agni Mandalaya Dashakalatmane. So the Patradhara is personification of the Agni Mandala. Agni Mandala having the 10 kalas. Okay. Arghya Patra Adharaya Namaha. So we worship the Patradhara. Then again on the top we place the Samanya Arghya Patra, Shankha or anything else. Surya Mandalaya Dvadasha Kalatmane Arghya Patraya Namaha. So that is the personification of the Surya Mandala, and Surya has the 12 kalas. So we use the letters starting from Ka to Bha in pairs. First Ka and the last Bha. Then the second, so Kambham. Then the second is the second letter Kham and the penultimate Bam. So Khambam. So like this. So 12 into 2, 24. So we will use the 24 letters starting on Ka to Bha. For the Agnikala, we would have used Yara, Lava, Shasha, Saha, Laksha. 10 totally. Okay. Then we pour the water from the Vardhini. Okay. Soma Mandalaya, Shodasha Kalatmane, Arghya Amrutaya Namaha. And we worship the Samanya Arghya as the Soma Mandala. And for Soma Mandala, there are 16 kalas. So we use the 16 vowels. Am, im, im. Okay. So Arghya Amrutaya Namaha. Iti Shuddha Jalam Apurya. So we use only Shuddha Jala for Samanya Arghya. Astrena Samrakshya. So we do the Rakshana using the Astra mantra. Okay. Astraya Phat. So Phat iti Samrakshya. Kavachena Avakuntya. Kavacham means whom. So we do the Avakanthanam using whom. Avakunthanam means to limit or restrict that in a particular place. Avakunthanam means actually pressing down. So Avakunthanam means restricting it to a particular place. So that is why we do this. Avakunthanam is restricting it to that particular spot or the area. So hum iti avakuntha. Kavachena avakuntya. So using the humkara, we do the avakunthana. Then dhenu yoni mudram pradarshayet. Dhenu and yoni is for namaskara. Okay, so we do the namaskara using dhenu and yoni mudra. Dhenu yoni mudram pradarshayet. So this is the Samanya Arghya Sthapana. We move on to the Vishesha Arghya. Saptavaram Abhimantriya Tajjala Viprudbihi Atmanam Pujopakarnani cha Samprokshya Tajjalena Purvoktam Mandalam Parikalpya. So Saptavaram Abhimantriya. After that, we have to chant the Moola mantra 7 times and do the Abhimantrana of the Samanya Arghya. And then use that water and sprinkle all the Puja Upakaranani. Okay, and on oneself to purify. Tajjala Viprudbihi. Viprut means Bindu. Okay, Tajjala Viprudbihi. Tajjala Bindubihi. Atmanam, oneself. Puja Upakaranani. And everything else that we use for the puja, like Pushpa and others. Puja Upakaranani. Samprokshya. We sprinkle. Tat Jalena. Now we use the Samanya Arghya Jala. Okay, so for drawing the Samanya Arghya Mandala, we had used the Vardhini Jalam. Now for drawing the Vishesha Arghya Mandala, we use the Samanya Arghya Jalam. Alright. Tat Jalena Purvoktam Mandalam Parikalpya. Draw the Mandala as described before. Purvoktam Mandalam. As described before. Okay. That is why later on Bhagavan will give a small difference between the Samanya Arghya Mandala and the Vishesha Arghya Mandala. In Vishesha Arghya Mandala, in the center we have to write the Turiya Akshara. Whereas in the Samanya Arghya Mandala, we don't write the Turiya Akshara. We don't write the Eem. Whereas in the Vishesha Arghya Mandala, we write the Eem. Okay, that is not mentioned here. That will come later on the other kramas. Alright. पूर्वोक्तं मंडलं परिकल्प्य तत्वत् आदिमं संयोज्य, just as we had filled it with the water, Shuddha Jalam, here we have to fill it with Adima. See, in the Panchamakaras, we have to remember the order very correctly. Madhu, Matsya, Mamsa, Mudra, Maithuna. This is the order. So when it says Adima, it means the first. So first is the Madhu. So Adimam Samyojya. We have to fill the Visheshargya Patra with the Adima, with the Madhu. All right. Tatra Upa Adimam. Upa Adimam means that which is next to the Adi. That is the second Matsya. Okay. So Upa Adimam Matsyam Samyojya. We have to drop a piece of the Matsya there. Then Madhyamam. The third is Mamsa. Okay, so Upadimam Madhyamam cha Nikshipya. All right. Vanhi Arka Indukalaha Abhyarchya. Now we do the Kalarchana, okay, for the Visheshargya. Same. The Agni Kala, the Surya Kala and the Soma Kala. So, Vanhi Arka Indukalaha Abhyarchya Vakratunda Gayatriya, using the Ganapati Gayatri. Okay, that Purushayat me Vakratunda Idimi. So, that is called as Vakratunda Gayatri. Vakratunda Gayatriya Gaṇanāntva Ityanaya Rucha, and using the Gaṇanāntva Rik. So, using these two Rik and the 50 kalas, Vanni Arka Indu kalas, we do the Abhimantrana. See, for the Shri Patra, when we do the Abhimantrana, we are doing the Abhimantrana using the Pancha Brahma kalas. Okay, Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Sadashiva, and Ishvara and Sadashiva kalas also. And there are some other mantras also which we use for the, so it is called as Chaturnavatī. So 94 mantras totally for the Abhimantrana of Shri Patra. Whereas in Maha Ganapati, it is only the 50 kalas plus the 2 riks. Okay. So Vakratunda Gayatriya Gaṇanāntva iti richa abhimantriya Astradi Rakshanam Kritva. Same. Astrena Samrakshya, Kavachena Avakuntya, Dhenu Yoni Mudriya. So all those things that has been told before has to be repeated again. Astra Adi Rakshanam Kritva Tad Bindubihi. Using that Samskrita Visheshargya, okay, we have to do Trishaha 3 times, Shirasi on one's own head, Guru Padukam Aradhaye. We have to perform the Tarpaṇa for the Guru Paduka. So here the Patra Sadhana is over. With this particular section, the Patra Sadhana is over. Next, we will proceed to the Layanga Puja. Starting from the Pitha Shakti Puja, we proceed to the Layanga Puja. This we'll see in the next class.